We're on. It begins right now, Bill.
Right here?
It begins right now.
I'm ready.
The show. This show.
I'm here on this show, and I'm not even sure what this show is called.
I don't know what this show is called either.
Shit.
Do you have any questions?
I'm losing my shit over
suggestions? Do you have any suggestions? Here's
Not
my idea.
Not off the top of my head, no, I don't.
Here's my idea.
Maybe it should just come organically.
Yeah, well, but
By the end of the evening, you'll have a name for this show.
Oh, that's, I don't want to decide now, but we can start talking about it.
Sure.
Now. We can start talking about it now. It's like anytime I've named anything, like including my kids, it's always like we start somewhere. We usually land on something pretty quick, and then we talk more about it, and it gets a little crazier.
When you're naming things professionally, where do you take your inspiration from? Do you take it from your geographic location? Do you take it from familial things? Do you take it from
like in terms of
food?
in terms of like branding and like helping like
when
brands and companies and stuff?
Like if you're coming into an area where you're not necessarily from there, obviously that would happen a lot.
Yeah.
And they're saying, okay, we want to encompass something that really says who we are. What is it you reach out to try and pull in for them that message?
I mean, it can come from anywhere. It really depends on who it is, right? Now, if it's somebody that's like working on a local level, I think that's the biggest thing for me. Is this like a global product?
Yeah, who's the audience?
Or a local product? And I think there was a lot more in between before, and before it was also a lot harder to ever consider yourself a global product. So, but it's so easy.
Yeah, it's very easy now
to do something globally. Whether you're,
I think on YouTube, I keep seeing guys that are telling me how they're going to make me rich by.
Oh yeah, anybody can do it.
Open a
Anybody
store for
can
a while, shut it down, open something else, get some cheap product, open it up, and
you just got to do it. Just set up the stores. It'll all work out. It'll all just get rich quick, like for real this time.
Yeah, it is for real this time.
Yeah, anybody can do it. You just gotta get the right apps, pay the right Nigerian princes, and you're good to go.
My niece is in financial work, and it's funny that in North America, at least to some people, she's really focused on family wealth as the group, as opposed to just, I'm doing well. Not that their whole family isn't doing okay, but she was like, you really need to start thinking about pooling your resources because you can build that a lot faster for the for the unit.
Yep.
And she says, a lot of people are kind of resistant to that. And she works with trust funds. Mm-hmm. So they're often families who have fought over money and are now split up. And I said, the funny thing is, to the rest of the world, that's just the way they do it. Most of the world, that's the way to do it. Whether it's Mexico or the Philippines or
totally,
it's everybody puts in because you have to.
Yeah, keeping the family.
We think it's a
novel
concept.
Dynasties.
Yeah.
Taking care of your parents, like they move back in with you, that whole thing.
Yeah, because that's being childless myself. I don't know what it's like to have that sandwich, but I know I have brothers and sisters who, when my mother was nearing the end of her life, and it was not a giant burden because there's many of us, and she was really quite healthy till close to the end of her life, at least able to stay at home. But there's other people who have long-term care with both their parent and then their kids are 10 or 11. Mm-hmm.
So this is all good stuff, but I'm going to pull us back.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull us back here to
get more local.
The topic here.
Yeah.
Which was this is
what again?
Well, the pressing topic, the fact that we just started a podcast right here,
we
right
did.
now.
This is my first ever podcast.
It's not the first one I've been on, but it's the first one I've made, like that I've just done, especially like this.
I'm not sure I've ever even listened to a podcast.
I've definitely listened to a lot.
I've listened to a lot. I'm sure I've heard snippets somewhere, but I don't think I've ever sat and really listened to a whole podcast.
I mean, it can be whatever you want it to be. I mean, some people broadcast live. This isn't live, but I'm not really planning on doing a lot of editing either, because for one, that will make my life easier. And two, it just, sort of, you get what you get. I think that's fun, at least for now. Because like I said, we don't know what this is going to be.
This is not.
Here's what I know. Here's what I know.
Pressure.
I mean, I had some ideas. I had some ideas, and that, primarily, we did touch on the whole local idea. We started talking about that. And that's because
it's pretty fascinating around here locally, to be honest.
It is fascinating here, which in Smiths Falls. I don't even know. Did we even mention that part? Did we even say the word Smiths Falls yet?
We did. In fact, I think you said that the first time. You said, I want to do a podcast about Smiths Falls, or I want to make it.
I know I said it to you.
Falls,
I
like, wanted to make
on our recording in the last 11 minutes and 12
I don't
seconds.
think we've mentioned Smiths Falls once.
No. Okay. Yeah. So this is
why you brought us back.
Yeah. This is a podcast. I may not know what it's called yet, but I know that this is
both figuratively and literally.
The idea here is for it to be a podcast about Smiths Falls, for Smiths Falls, from Smiths Falls, in Smiths Falls, by Smiths Falls.
I'm not sure what they're called.
For the good of Smiths Falls, for the love of Smiths Falls. That might be
that could. I'm just saying we're not deciding anything, but we did say we could discuss it because I like the intonation on that. For the love of Smiths Falls.
For the love of Smiths Falls.
It's like an F-bomb. It can be, it can be joyous. For the love of Smiths Falls, or it can be for the love of Smiths Falls.
Working title.
My new curse. That might be my new curse.
So,
trying to clean it up a bit.
I think that you're a good man to have here on this debut episode of Working Title for the Love of Smiths Falls.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here. Honestly, it's my first podcast, and I love this kind of thing.
Because you are, correct me if I'm wrong here, Bill. William.
You can go with Bill. Casually, I'm Bill. Professionally, I'm Will now.
You're born here?
No.
Okay.
No, I am not.
But you've been here
native.
a long time.
I moved here when I was 9 months old.
Oh, well,
my parents brought me here. Yeah, this is. I've never been to St. Thomas since.
Yeah, so
I think I drove through once. The only thing I know about it is it's famous for that's where Jumbo the elephant got killed. That's all.
Yeah.
I know a lot more about Smiths Falls than I do about St. Thomas.
See, if we had been doing this podcast yesterday, like I originally wanted to, Bill.
Was I not available or something?
No. I didn't even contact you. I did originally want to. I made it sound like it was your fault there. But it was not your fault. It was my fault for sure.
That's why speaking to people is a better communication than texting someone.
I love the call. I love the phone call.
I prefer it.
I like the out of the blue phone call too. There's a lot of are you okay to take a call right now?
Before you just
it's
answered the phone.
You could just try me, and if I'm not okay,
I used to chase. We used to race to the phone, see who could get there first because it
was exciting. You didn't know who it was going to be for.
Anybody.
I think it was always out of that hope that it was going to be for you.
Yeah. In a family of 8, it rarely ever was.
So 9 months old, St. Thomas. See, but that's what I was getting at. If we had been doing this podcast yesterday, I would have been wearing a very topical T-shirt, and that's a double entendre because the T-shirt would have been topical in that it was just loosely on top of my skin,
right?
And it would have been on topic. In that it was a Railway City Brewing shirt.
Is that St. Thomas?
It is St. Thomas.
That's fine.
Yeah. The one time I ever went to St. Thomas is when I got that shirt and I went on a brewery tour. Because they actually make one of my favorite beers that is called Dead Elephant. Namesake.
Jumbo,
who died in
St. Thomas.
I always forget that wasn't he like a runaway elephant they had to kill or something?
No.
They chased him off a cliff or something.
The legend was that Jumbo was trying to save a smaller baby elephant that was on the tracks.
Right.
There had been a train crash. There was a train coming, and Jumbo pushed the baby elephant out of the way.
I see.
And was killed by the train.
And had the baby elephant been put there by some top-hatted man with a pointy mustache?
I think I'm not sure. I can't say, having been from St. Thomas but never been there or done really much of any research on it, I don't think it would be fair.
This is a story I really should know. I did a whole brewery tour where this was like the most exciting point of the tour, was about this elephant. But
yeah, because and Jumbo was killed like in the late 1800s. Like I think it was 1898 or 1903.
Well, I think that's why they've
been hanging on to that one for a while.
Why there's so much fogginess on
like
the details.
Perth with the mammoth cheese.
So 9 months old, and you have you lived here since then?
No, I've spent time elsewhere. I've spent some time in Toronto, and I lived in Ottawa for years, and I spent a couple of years few years in Vancouver.
Right. So you are worldly to an extent.
I would say I'm somewhat worldly, yes.
Somewhat worldly.
Now that I'm over 35.
Yeah. But when did you come back? When did you come back to Smith Falls?
When did I come back to Smith Falls
return?
the last time?
Yeah.
Because I made a couple of returns.
How long you been here now, bud?
Well, geez, eh? Let's see. It was the Dallas Stars won the Cup in 2007, so I'm going to say it was about 2000. Yeah, about 2009 I came back.
Okay, so
I hadn't been away all that long.
But that was like right after Hershey left, right?
Yeah, around the same time. Yeah,
right when they were really closing shop. I mean, they had been scaling down for a few years.
Yeah, they were pretty skeleton at that point.
Yeah,
there wasn't much left.
And
I worked at Hershey's too.
Yeah. So what brought you back this last time?
I don't think there was anything that particular that brought me back. I mean, it's always home. It's always where you land when you're going to figure out what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
It always was before, so it was just that again. And it's not like I came back thinking, okay, I'll stick it here and take off somewhere else.
Yeah.
I came back and thought, we'll see what's going on. And I went back to work for Healy Transportation, who I've worked off and on for since I was about 19 years old. I grew up with them, and that's how I learned to drive stick, was on a big yellow school bus.
It's easier to learn on those.
It is, actually.
Than it is on the
I
car.
tried cars a couple times. I wasn't.
It's way easier to learn on those because you can feel it more. Everything's more macro.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's
you
not
don't
so
have to
subtle.
have that sort of fine.
Yeah, it's not so subtle.
You know.
You just jam it.
You know when something's wrong. And you're not too worried about the gears grinding as much either because they're a little more built for it.
Yeah.
A little tougher.
Yeah. So it wasn't so much of what brought me back, but what kept me, I guess.
All roads lead to home?
Yeah, well, because I was in Mexico for a while, and then I went to Taiwan, and I met my now ex-wife there. So then we came back here and lived here in the house that I bought at that time.
Yeah.
I bought my house in 2010.
Right.
And we had just gotten married.
So how do you feel about Taiwanese independence?
Oh, I'm all for Taiwanese independence. I love Taiwan. Taiwan's an amazing, amazing protectorate. It's not a country, technically. But
they consider themselves a country. No?
Yes.
They do consider themselves a country. They
consider themselves part of China. No, they definitely consider themselves.
Yeah. So, and this is something that I'm sure you know.
It's an overlooked and one of the most fascinating places I've ever been.
Far more than I do about this, but it came up in my social feed recently because John Cena, the wrestler,
right, from Wipeout.
Is he from Wipeout? What's
he does
Wipeout?
the game show Wipeout.
Does he?
John Cena does that. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a pretty funny show. Yeah.
He was also the voice of Ferdinand.
Yes.
The bull.
Yeah.
I really like his taunt. I think he's got one of the most inventive taunts.
What's his taunt?
In WWE history. He does this thing where it almost doesn't make any sense, but that's why it does. Where he stands in front of his opponent and yells at them that they can't see him.
It doesn't make any sense.
And he waves his hand in front of his eyes and says, "You can't see me." I just hit my microphone with my hand.
It
makes no sense, but
Yeah.
once you think about it like a little harder, it does make sense. Because
But again, it's not just the words, right?
it's just messing with somebody's head. It's like, what does he mean?
That's right, but it's
You
not
know?
just the words. It's the way he's
Yeah.
doing it. It's the body language. It's the tone of voice.
It's everything. I really like his
I've
tone.
been saying to people for years now, if you want to be misunderstood, send a text. I almost guarantee it's going to take it.
Yeah.
So I've taken to lately, if I get into, I mean, not all the time, but say if I'm at home at night and I get into a bit of a text with someone, a friend anywhere.
Yeah.
If I get into 3 texts and there's more than a couple lines, I now just hit the camera button.
I do the same thing.
So
That's
why
like
are
my
we doing
same
this?
rule.
Why am I not talking to you?
I'm like my thumbs are too fat, man. My phone is too small because I like to actually be able to.
Well, I'm
fit
frustrated
it
by
in
the
my
time I'm
pocket.
done. I'm going, that's not what I meant to say. Or
You know what?
Plus, I need my glasses.
I take it a step further because half the time, all these people who are just like, no, just text me. No, just text me.
I don't understand that.
I call them. It's like they send me a text. Yeah. They send another text. Like, yeah, they send another text. I'm like, oh, I don't even reply. My reply is I call them. And if they don't answer, I'll probably ignore their text for like the next hour. It's like, if you want to talk to me,
that from now on, I'm going to call you more than text you.
yeah, do it. Just call me.
Well, same with me. Call me.
And if I don't answer, it's because I'm friggin' busy, and you'll get it.
I'm not any more offended by that than I would by you not responding to my text for 4 hours.
I'm
not you, and I'm not talking about you. I'm
horrible-
talking
no,
about
no.
everybody.
But you could be talking about me because
Oh,
that's a fast.
That's why I had to pull that back.
That's
I'm
a
not talking
fast.
about you because
That's a
that is
fast
you.
response time for
Yeah.
me.
Oh yeah. Well,
You couldn't be talking about me. You'd have to be talking about like 4 days later from me.
where's my phone? Because you said to me today, "Hey, interested in doing a podcast?" And I text back, "Yeah, it sounds like a good idea. What time do you want to do that?" Blah, 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 blah. And that was at 9:14 a.m. And you texted me and you said, "You want to come over now? You want to do it about 9 p.m.?" And that was at 8:50 tonight. So I was like, well, I'll lock up the kayaks and the canoes and I'll... In fact, then my nephew came down, who's staying upstairs, and I sat there and got talking to them for a second. I almost forgot. And he said, "So where are you doing this podcast?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, right." Grabbed my bag and...
Speaking of, oh yeah, right. John Cena.
Right. I can't see you.
He was like doing an interview for Fast and the Furious 17 or whatever they're at. And he just like responded to a question. He's like, who's going to be the first to see it? But he mentioned that the country of Taiwan
Right.
would be the first to see it, which is true chronologically speaking, but the Chinese people lost their shit because John Cena referred
Mentioned
to
Taiwan.
Taiwan
Yeah.
as a separate country.
They do. They
got very
They
upset.
literally lose their shit.
Yeah. Hopefully that reference makes sense. I'm not sure if that's
It
part
does.
to
It does
making a
because
podcast.
it that's what was so fascinating about Taiwan. We went to this place called the Red Fort, and the Red Fort has been occupied on the island of Taiwan for years by all these different countries. Originally, it was Portugal, and that's why it used to be called Formosa, Ilha Formosa, which is Portuguese for beautiful island. And they still, the year I was there, they were singing that. They sang a song, Ilha Formosa, for their big lantern festival. That was sort of the anthem. And all these countries that own it. But you know who the first person to build a school and a church and a hospital there was? A Canadian. He was a Scottish-born Canadian, and his name was Mackay. They called him Beard of Bees. He had this big black beard. They called him Beard. And there was a statue where they showed him. The original hospital's still there. They've kept it, and so it was like, really? Yeah, he landed there with nothing but a Bible and a suitcase. But it is a very, very interesting place, and geopolitically, it's fascinating because it's not really a country.
Yeah.
They can't fly their own flag. They can't, and no other country acknowledges them as a country. The States protects them, but they don't acknowledge them as a country because if they do, then the Chinese will cut diplomatic ties.
Yeah.
That was the bargain in 1972 or something like that with Nixon. was you don't call it a
it's
country.
crazy.
And
They
you
got
can
real
talk
mad
us.
at John Cena, and he apologized.
Huh.
He made like this
That's
profuse apology on social media, saying he just like kept saying "I'm sorry" over and over, like he was begging them, just like, "I'm so sorry, I made a mistake. It was just a mistake. Please, I'm sorry. I love China. Please."
Yeah. Well, John, you should love Taiwan and not China, because China's not a real nice regime.
Well,
I don't dislike the Chinese people.
thanks for getting me boycotted by the world's superpower, Bill.
I didn't say the T word. You can't see me.
Nobody can see you because
perfect.
this is not a video podcast. At least not yet. I mean, it may evolve. I want to hear what people want, really. I mean, I mentioned this is from Smiths Falls for the love of Smiths Falls.
For the love of
right?
Smiths Falls.
And so, I mean,
But Smiths Falls is
we could talk about current events.
for the love of Smiths Falls, you know, it's a good word for, it's not a bad name for this, because Smiths Falls has, for a long time, I would say and it's true today still, that it has a stigma to it. That it has long been held as a rough town, a tough town, a dirty town.
Yeah.
They used to call it Sin City back in the day. It was even known as Little Chicago by some people.
Yeah.
And while somewhat deserved, I don't think uniquely deserved by Smiths Falls. I don't think it was unique. St. Thomas. In fact, I was going to say this earlier, was that St. Thomas and Smiths Falls, the only two towns I really lived in as a child, had a lot of similarities. Both railroad towns, both river towns.
Yeah.
Both with bad reputations. St. Thomas, anytime I've mentioned to people, oh, it's a shithole.
Yeah.
And I said, I've never been there. I drove through it. Looked all right.
See, I own a place about 45 minutes from St. Thomas.
And did it have a bad rap? Did it have a bad
Chatham,
rap?
Ontario? Oh, yeah.
Well, Chatham. Which had the worst rap, St. Thomas or Chatham?
I feel like Chatham might have a worse rap.
I don't know. Wallaceburg might give them a run for their money.
Wallaceburg has a rap all its own.
Yeah, it does.
The rap I heard about Chatham is that in Chatham, they just really like to fight.
Oh, is that right?
Well, that's the rap I heard. Like, not from people in Chatham, from other people.
I've never been in Chatham either. I spent time in Wallaceburg because I have family there, but never in Chatham. It's probably because Chatham fights too much.
Chatham is...
We're lovers, not fighters.
You know what? I left Chatham a few years ago, and there are very many redeeming qualities about Chatham. Honestly, Bill,
I think that's true of any small
went to
town that has a bad rap, much like Smiths Falls.
Chatham is relatively small. Chatham proper is 40,000 people. So it's a lot bigger than Smiths Falls.
Oh, yeah, it's 4 times the size.
You know, it's a bona fide city, Bill.
Yes.
It's not a town.
No, it's not.
But it's still a small town. Let's be
it's
real.
relative.
It's still a small town.
To us, it's a city. To the state, someone in the States,
Feel
it's
it
like that's a small town.
Geographically, it's a city. Philosophically,
It's a small town.
it's a town. It's a small town. Not this small, but small. And like, I feel like how small a town is also partially dependent, like how philosophically small a town is also partially dependent on like its proximity to an urban center, right?
Yeah, right.
You know, like, cause you could call like, you know, like Georgetown or Acton, Ontario, like really small town. And in a sense they are, but then in another sense, there's like, they're just
part of another big,
they're just outside Toronto, you know, and Smiths Falls is just outside Ottawa. I think it's never been an Ottawa bedroom
I think there'd
community,
be more
though.
green between Smiths Falls and Ottawa than there would between Acton and Toronto, wouldn't there be? Maybe not.
No, there isn't. There really isn't. There isn't more distance at all.
No, I just mean
It's just
more rural.
more rural.
Like the distance is the same, but their distance would be more developed than our distance from here to Ottawa.
More developed. Oh, like you think there's more green between here and Ottawa?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and
which affects that
there's
philosophical feel of
there,
small
yeah,
town. Acton is a
but,
small town,
but now
because
it's
you
happening.
don't get out.
But now it's happening here, like because there's urban sprawl happening. So it's like Smiths Falls is now. It's going to be a bit more of an Ottawa satellite than it ever was before. You know.
Well, Smiths Falls was always the biggest town around, other than Ottawa and Kingston. It's always been bigger than every other town. It's bigger than Kempful, Perth, Carleton Place. Carleton Place might be giving it a bit of a run for its money now because it's expanded quite a bit in the past 20 years. But
and
like
its borders with Canada are just going to blur. Soon enough. You know?
Stittsville and Canada, and Stittsville too. Like that. It's that road that comes out to Highway 7 there, but it's not far out of Stittsville. And actually, Ottawa starts maybe 15 minutes outside of Smiths Falls towards North Gore on that highway. And you come around the big S curve. There's the Ottawa sign.
So you just started a new business, Bill?
I did. Oh, did you want me to actually tell you about it?
The floor is yours.
Self-promotion. That's not really my gig, man. I thought this was a podcast. No, I'm kidding.
That's what a podcast is.
It's for the love of Smiths Falls, right? It's for the love of Smiths Falls.
Is.
It is? I thought a podcast was more, I don't want to say artistic, because that's not right. I thought it was more storytelling. But
it can be.
But I guess it can be anything, right?
It can be absolutely anything. You could put it can be storytelling. You could do like you could recite the script to a play. Yeah. You could it's whatever you want it to be. It's like what is a radio program?
It's basically the same thing.
You know?
Whatever you want it to be.
It's just we at least at this point, until the liberals get their way, we are not regulated by the CRTC. But I've heard that they're trying to regulate the whole internet in Canada now. I don't know how much those headlines have been blown out of proportion. Well, I don't like it, Bill. I don't like it.
I don't think there's a government in the world that's not trying to regulate the internet in some way, because that's what governments do.
They do like to regulate.
They like to say they don't want to, but if you're in government or in power, then you want to control things. I mean, I think a lot of people are, to some degree, a control freak over something. Everybody wants to be able to control their own destiny or...
Anyway, don't let my offhand comments detract from what we're talking about here, Bill.
To what we were talking about was Smiths Falls Pedal and Paddle.
Smiths Falls Pedal and Paddle.
For the love of Smiths Falls Pedal and Paddle.
And it's not... that's an important distinction, because it's not pedal or paddle.
No, it's pedal and
It's pedal and paddle.
Now, you are not required to do both to participate.
So
you can do one or the other.
So then perhaps it should be Smiths Falls Pedal and or paddle. What do you think, Bill?
Well, it could be, but
does it roll off the tongue as well?
It could be, but the Smiths Falls Pedal and Paddle is already problematic enough when you're giving out that email. I should have shortened that, because everybody says they have to read through it to make sure that they got them all in the right order. So that may have been one slight error, but
I don't think you can put a slash in a web address.
No,
anyway,
no, you can't use any special characters.
You can use a hyphen though.
I could have went with just the in, but it's I've noticed that for most people, it's the Smiths Falls part, and the pedal part.
Right, because they misspell pedal.
Yeah,
and they misspell. They put in Smith Falls.
Yeah, a lot of people put in Smith Falls, but there's L's and there's T and there's at.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's my hashtag ride at the falls. That's the one that I have to walk through because there's too many T's in a row. 2 of them. It's confusing for me.
Ride at the.
Because that's the town slogan is Rise at the Falls. So my hashtag is ride. Oh, okay.
I get it.
I wasn't sure you were aware.
I was
of
counting
the
T's.
slogan.
No, I was counting the T's. No, I knew it. Yes, I was aware. It's the town.
Yeah,
slogan.
it's only the fact that there's 2 T's together. There's not that many T's.
I'll be honest. I found that slogan a little confusing the first time I heard it. Not yours.
Rise at the Falls.
Ride at the Falls makes a lot more sense to me than Rise at the Falls.
I think a lot of people at first, myself included, kind of looked at it and went, and of course, before it even came out, somebody had to go, they spent this much money on it, which taints it for anybody that doesn't understand how life works. But I looked at it first too and thought, well, I kind of thought about it, and you realize that it incorporated the water in the logo. The S and the F are in there. And yes, that's exactly what happens here. People come in their boats, and they rise at the falls. I think it's a brilliant slogan.
And the first time somebody explained that to me, I was like, "Oh, right!" Because you can actually go in the locks, which is such a cool thing that people tend to miss.
Yeah, people do tend to
think
forget
there's waterfalls
what an engineering marvel it is, and how it still runs the same as it did.
Yeah.
I mean, other than the lock downtown, which is one of the few electric locks, they still go out and crank that crank to open those gates and let that water in or out.
Yeah, I did a LaBoat trip last September, so that was my first time going through.
Oh, was it?
Through them, going through the locks, that is, and my first time going on LaBoat, but. It was fun. It was great. It was cool.
It's pretty neat.
It was neat in those locks, and it's only that. I imagine it's only. I can't wait to do that in like a kayak.
Yeah, kayak or canoe. They won't let paddle boards in the canal. But and Smiths Falls Paddle and Paddle, we have 2 canoes and 2 kayaks that have Rideau Canal passes. Nice. So you can meet me up at Detached Locks, and I put you in there, and you can have a little tour around the swale, which is also really nice. I was out there last night in my kayak, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And I'm a bit, I'm not going to say ashamed of myself, but I was a bit disappointed in myself that was the first time that I'd ever done that.
Right.
In my whole life.
Yeah.
I've sat on the bridge. I mean, I knew it was nice out there, but I had never paddled out there, and I even saw an otter. I don't think he was happy to see me, but it was really lovely.
It's amazing the things you can miss that are right under your nose sometimes, right? And sometimes those are things you didn't know about. And sometimes they're things that you do know about and you just
kind of ignored it.
Thought
I'll get to it.
That's what I find. That's what I find in when you're in a town, it's like you have this idea of, well, I'm here. I live here.
Yeah.
I can do it anytime. Anytime
There's no
I
sense
want.
making a special trip.
Don't need to make any kind of thing about it or make a big deal about it.
Well, if you didn't get to the Hershey chocolate shop, it's a little late now, isn't
it? Exactly. I missed my chance, but I didn't live here then. I've been here for 2.5 years now.
2.5 years already?
2.5, yeah. It feels like less because of the last year and a half, hasn't really been
I keep telling people that I have a condition that's like vertigo, but it's time-based. Because it's not so bad now that I've opened the business, but for the past year, it was like Sunday, Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, I know that feeling.
7, 8 p.m., I don't know.
Yeah, I know that feeling for sure.
I'm doing stuff. It's around the house. I'm doing stuff whenever I want on my own. For the first time in probably, like 20 years, I'm getting up at 6 a.m. and going, go sit on the deck for a bit and then go back to sleep if I want.
Yeah.
It's not that I had never done that before, because I know there's people that will hear that and go, come on, Dales, we know you.
Yeah.
But I was never a sleeper, and I was always up early in the morning. Mm-hmm. Love a good nap, though. Love a good nap.
Yeah, I think I did that for the first few months of COVID. And I went on, because I went on the CERB for a little bit.
Right.
But that the work dry up didn't really last that long for me. Just being in my industry of digital this and digital that.
You were already a home-based worker.
Yeah, so the transition wasn't that much for me. I mean, I always split my stuff between that and live events.
Right.
And live events disappeared. And it was right on the way to spring and summer when that's my season for live events. Normally it's like, all right, get a bunch of media done over the winter because the live events dry up for the winter. So that's the time to crank out projects. Right. So that's why at first it was like, I am high and dry. I got nothing because everything's been canceled. But by the time we got into January of this year, I'm turning things away because I just can't keep up with, because
now everything's online.
Everything's online. Everything's, everybody wants digital this, digital that. And so working in that field.
And as a great lover of music, and especially live music, and wanting to support artists and be able to do that online, I just can't watch. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And I was never one to sit at home and watch a concert film either.
Yeah.
Maybe with a few people, but if there's music on and I'm home, yeah. So, but I love a live concert, but even a live album, maybe the only one I ever watched the whole thing through was Rust Never Sleeps.
Yeah. I mean, I like live things, but like live albums, and I have like a small collection of like live concert DVDs, but they're like, I don't know. The reason I like watching them is because there's a big crowd in them.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like I'm there.
Yeah.
So I don't get that when I'm seeing one person at home.
No, it's hard. And
in their bedroom.
And bless them for doing it. I mean, I know lots of people have enjoyed them. I know lots of people have enjoyed it, but it's got to be hard for the artist to, it's if I'm feeling that as the audience, like music touches you in an audience live the way it doesn't touch you any other way, I think. And if I'm feeling that loss and can't watch it, it must be extremely difficult for the artist. Like, especially people who are used to feeding off that kind of energy. And let's face it, anybody who performs, validation's important.
Yeah.
And
totally.
when you're a live performer, you get that validation toot sweet.
Yeah.
And now you're like, are they liking me? Am I getting a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Like that's
not
the same payoff.
Even if you do get the thumbs up, even if you do get the good comments, it's not
the same.
It's not
payoff.
the same as a scream or a whistle or I would argue you got on a live stream, you got nothing but comments coming in, right?
Right.
You got essentially nothing but silence.
Right.
And the most impactful moments, I think, in a live show is like when it's loud and it's loud and it's loud and it's loud, and then it's not. When a hush comes over the crowd.
Really listen.
When you can collectively force a large group of people.
One of the best examples I ever had of that was a few of us went up to Kingston for the last Hip show. We weren't actually at the show. We were in the square. And it was one of the most Canadian moments of my life because the square was packed, and yet, like good Canadians, we were all stayed equidistant, about an inch apart from each other, packed, sweaty, and nobody was touching. Like, what a bunch of Canadians. Sorry. But there was a part where they were playing Bob Cajun, I think it was. Yeah, Bob Cajun. And it got low and slow, and it was about the riot when he steps to the Aryan twang, the man that couldn't hang, and Gordy kind of, in an old Gordy show, he always going to go off and do something, but you could tell he kind of lost the lyric for a second. He just whether he forgot it or whatever it is, and the crowd just picked it up right there and sang it and brought him back in, and it was a really poignant, beautiful moment. And you just don't get that, and that's one example. And there's been a lot of examples I've had in life where there's a whole concert, but there's those few moments where it's like, wow, that was really, really. I was living special.
In Kitchener when that show happened, and I watched the live stream on it, but onto a big screen TV with
a crowd.
Actually, it was my wife and my buddy Rob. It's just we kept it small that day, but I went into my work where we had a lounge and a 70-inch TV, right. So we borrowed it on that day. I think I feel like it was a Sunday. Nobody was at work. I know that much.
Might have been.
And I was drinking a 100th Meridian beer just because of the connection. Even though I knew it wasn't associated. And there's actually the Tragically Hip is actually currently suing Mill Street over that beer right now, interestingly enough.
That, yeah.
But that was an intense show, man. I mean, I can only imagine being there.
Yeah.
in real life.
and I was looking on a screen in the square. I wasn't in the kayak center.
Yeah, and that show was
but
like
it was just palpable how emotional it was for
it felt like watching a Rocky movie to me.
a bit. Yeah, it was a bit like the
he
comeback kid.
Because I will say, like he came out and he was like, he didn't seem like top of his game. You know, it sort of felt like, okay, well, I can understand this is his last show.
And he's been touring all summer.
He's been touring, but he's weak. He's got a tumor growing in his head. Like I don't know how bad he was.
He's
feeling
not doing well
physically at that point. But you know, I was forgiving what I felt was at first was maybe a bit of a lackluster performance. Right. And then the performance seemed to get like a little more emotional. There was like that moment you mentioned where he forgot a line. There was one other one where he like started screaming at the end of the song.
Yeah, like he was screaming. He was really mad at the cancer or something.
Yeah.
He was really angry. Yeah. That was really powerful. And again, I wasn't even at the show, but it felt like I was because I was in Kingston and we were in this crowd. And that was really, I'd forgotten about that.
And then I felt like after that, he found his groove. Yeah. And he was like, he hammered the performance. He needed to
gird himself for the rest of the show.
Yeah, he hammered that performance out for the rest of the night.
Yeah, because I remember being there thinking, you know, you hate this. You know, he'd been like I'd seen snips of his other shows, and he'd been doing great. And you just thought, you know, I mean, it's a grueling schedule in the first place. Just I hope he's. But yeah, I remember that he screamed, and then the rest of the show was pretty good. That night was pretty great. I nearly passed out in the Tiernanog from the heat, but was saved by friends who had an apartment upstairs with air conditioning.
Nice.
Oh yeah, like I was running through the crowd going, it had to be 110 degrees in there. Mm-hmm. Of course, you know, we showed up to the show with 2 warm beers each and no water. That's always brilliant. And the heat. My God, the heat.
Mm-hmm. So what are you doing do you have like bottles of water that you rent that you sell?
I do have them there. I mean, this week I wasn't trying to sell any because it's just a few people and it was pretty friggin' hot. So it was like, you guys need water? Mm-hmm. I don't really just want to sell bottles of water because they're bottles of water. But it's funny.
Get like a big,
almost everybody's got them. Almost everybody's got a water bottle with them. Mm-hmm. I bet you I haven't seen 2 people down there without carrying their water bottle. Well, need water? No. Like I was offering them free. No, we're good.
You just got to get your reusable water bottles for
I've been thinking
for the people who forgot.
I need to get some marketed pedal and paddle water bottles.
Yeah. Smiths Falls Pedal Paddle. Smiths Falls Pedal and Paddle.ca. Smiths Falls Pedal and Paddle.ca. Or you can just Google it. Smiths Falls Pedal Paddle. Yeah. PEDAL, folks. PEDAL.
A friend smart-assedly said to me the other day, because I had been out in the swale, he said, well, did you pedal to your paddle? But he spelled it wrong. He spelled it with the 2 Ds. And I said, no, but I do pedal to pedal my paddles. Mm-hmm. Of course, my spelling was correct.
You're pedaling pedals and paddles.
Well, it's funny because nobody's really talked about the bikes, and I haven't really done much with the bikes yet because they're really more geared towards the people coming in on boats. Most people around here have bikes. I don't think locals are going to rent a lot of bikes. Maybe the e-bikes, a pair of electric bikes, rad mission power bikes. You can get upwards of 30 kilometers an hour going. They'll get charged. Will take you about 70 kilometers.
Rip down those new bike lanes.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's easy going down. It's really nice to have it when you're going up.
Right.
Little throttle, little pedal assist.
Rip up those bike lanes.
Makes that window shopping just that much nicer as you're going up street.
How do you like the new street?
I love the new street.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know it was very controversial in Smiths Falls for some people, but I really think it's a more inviting, more welcoming, more aesthetically pleasing. The old street was very wide and windy and hot and dirty and didn't really have any attractive features.
Yeah.
Plus, Smiths Falls, it doesn't have the same heritage downtown as, say, Perth or Marrickville does because we've had a few really bad fires over the past century.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really feel like parking is heritage myself.
Oh, I disagreed with those people who disagreed, but
I mean,
the heritage argument itself was a moot point because there is 7 blocks of angled parking on Main Street. And
right
you know
here
what?
where we are
Do you
right
know?
now.
Yeah, that's correct. Right out front, right here at Smith Falls Arts Hub.
Yeah, right at the Arts Hub. You love
Located
to park
on Main
angled?
Street,
You
right
come
across
here.
from the parking lot that used to be the Soper Theater.
Hey, we love you regardless of which way you prefer to park.
That's right.
We totally do. We both do. We
I'm
all
just
do.
saying. I'm just saying that the heritage angle was saved because on Main Street, which was the original Main Street, that angle parking still exists. So I'm just saying that the heritage argument itself was a bit of a moot point.
Maybe just say, I don't like it. Yeah. I don't know why. I just don't. And I'd be like, okay, you're entitled to that.
Change scares me.
Change scares a lot of people.
It does. And I think that would probably be more of what it was about than anything else for people. People are like, well, you're going to change it, and I'm not sure I'm going to like what you change it to. Well, in fact, I've seen what you're saying, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to like that.
And I think another truth is that, like, I mean, a small town like this town is going to wind up catering to growth, because that's where prosperity has always been known to be.
And again, I'm not full disclosure. My sister is on council, but and I have been accused by a few people of being, well, you had secret. I don't discuss municipal politics hardly with anybody. Never mind my sister.
Yeah.
And she is if anybody knows what it's like to be from a very large family, and I'm 7 of 8, and she's the oldest. We're busy people, and she has.
You sound like a Borg.
Well, she
7 of 8. Yeah. I am 7 of 8. Yeah. We are Dales. Resistance is futile.
Yeah, well, I guarantee you that is not the model. We are not one unit by any stretch of the imagination, much like any other family. I mean, we're close and we love each other, but we have our own lives, and I don't have time to sit and, I mean, how's it going? Pretty good. Like what you did with the street. Thanks. That's about as political as my discussions with my sister gets, because you're on. I voted for I think pretty well everybody, if not everybody, on council, because I thought they were more progressive than the other people that were running. I thought that they had vision, and I thought that they were going to actually make moves. Would I necessarily agree with every move? No. Would I make a big deal about it? No, because, well, they took on the job. Mm-hmm. It's a thankless job. Municipal politics is a blood sport. I mean, you lose. It's a very tough job for very little, and the only thing you have to show for it is, did you make your town a better place?
It is for very little.
It is for very little.
Because those are public salaries, and I've seen them.
Yeah, they're not.
Like,
they're stipends.
Like these are people doing it for the love of Smith Falls.
Absolutely, they're doing it for the love of Smith Falls.
So even that's I think a really important part, because it's like, even if you disagree with what they're doing, it's like, well, so you doing it?
Yeah, and people do. People, I think, sometimes get in their head that, oh, they're bigwig politicians and they're making maneuvers, and I don't think municipal policy is pretty transparent. You can't get away with too much anymore in municipal politics. Mm-hmm. I mean, well, I got my tax bill in the mail yesterday, and it has everything on the back. It has the whole budget, what was spent, how much everybody got paid. It has everything broken down for you. And this council and this mayor have done an incredible job. Smith Falls has changed profoundly in the past 7 years. I was saying this to someone tonight. It has changed in ways I could not have envisioned 10 years ago. I would have liked to have seen, but I was like, that'll never happen in my own life. And even though they restructured me out of the company, Canopy Growth was the catalyst for that, and it is a very great example of what Smith Falls is historically.
Yeah,
it is the center of the universe for about 5 years, and then whatever made it the center of the universe kind of goes away, and after a while, people forget about it. But the residual legacy of that lasts forever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at one point we were the turkey capital of the world. We had more turkey poultry farms around here and a big market.
Yeah.
Like the early 1900s.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of things that have come through this town.
Yeah, RCA Victor was here making all the records for the Beatles, and Frost and Woods. Actually, Frost and Woods lasted from 1932 to like 1956.
Even the canal.
Yeah, it's been here.
Still here.
Go.
Still going strong.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
So you're renting, you got canoes, you got kayaks, you got
and
e-bikes and paddleboards. Stand-up paddleboards.
I have e-bike because
e-bike.
as anybody's experienced ordering anything over this past year and a half, it's not coming when you expect it.
Yeah.
But
it's tough.
It's coming. I've got one.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Did you find prices? Were prices up like wood?
It's funny because I built this, I don't build things. A friend of mine with the wood I found built a container on the side of my house for my recycling and my garbage bins and stuff like that. And it was just about when that whole Suez Canal thing was going on and supply chains were getting, and we went and bought one piece of lumber that we needed for one. He said, we'll just get an Econo 2x4. They're cheap. And it was $17. I'm not a construction guy. It could have been 25. I didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to crap himself. It was so expensive. $17. And I was like, well, it's a big, long board. $17 doesn't seem unreasonable to be. No, that should be $6.50. It's triple the price. Well, so he was like, I'm glad we didn't have to buy anything else for this thing. I didn't want to spend. The idea was not to spend.
Yeah, I haven't had to buy much wood in a while. I bought a little bit for a little project in January. When did the prices spike? It's kind of been a gradual thing over the last year.
Yeah, but it would have been like when we were building that thing. Because I remember we looked at a piece of plywood and it was $93 for one sheet of plywood. And that would have been like in April.
Mm-hmm. Crazy times. But
we're all learning patience, though.
You get your vaccine yet?
One dose.
Yeah. I get mine in 3 days.
First dose. I'm on the Pfizer.
Yeah, I'm getting Pfizer too. I don't really care which one I get.
Didn't care which one I got, but whichever one I got, I want the second one of that.
You want to keep them the same.
Yeah,
you don't trust this whole mix and match idea.
With the one that brung you.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom was saying my mom was like, you know what? I want to get a different one. I actually think that'll get me better protection. I don't know.
She could be right. I don't know. I have absolutely no scientific knowledge and or education of any sort that could back up anything I'm thinking.
I'm inclined to be more of your thinking. Like you said, there was a system. There's a reason these are 2-dose things. Like, give me my booster.
They're not the exact same.
No, they're right? They come from the same science. But
now, if the second one was the Johnson & Johnson, then I might say okay because it's the one shooter.
You'd put a Johnson in you.
Because then I'm kind of I'm double dipping a little bit. Then I'm getting a dose and a half, two and a half doses or something. I don't know the math on that. Again, not good in the science or the maths. Okay with,
But you don't think it's going to like mess with your DNA or anything like that, eh? It won't.
I don't think so.
I don't think it will either. Apparently some people
I don't know why. Well, the same as somebody said something about vaccines the other day, and I said, well, your kids in school? Yeah, well, they're vaccinated. Mm-hmm. This idea that all of a sudden vaccines are something that they weren't before, that they're something nefarious. I don't understand that. They've obviously been working for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, a couple people died from the Astra one. Blood clotters.
A couple of people die from everything.
Yeah.
A couple of people die from eating a burger with a sesame on the bun.
Mm-hmm. They do.
Actually, it's probably more than a couple.
They do. See, I think people should get the vaccine.
I think people should get the vaccine.
As long as they want to.
Yeah.
Well, I think they should want to. I think they should want to.
If you don't want to get the vaccine, I'm not. I mean, it's like any. Well, I mean, these are anti-vaccine people. They're not new. There's been people for long before this going around.
But I've heard they're on the rise.
Kids shouldn't have. Yeah, they are because of this. But before people, the whole autism, people trying to connect autism to vaccines.
I think the fear just goes away is the problem. Like
Don't you just get tired of being enraged and pissed off and having to fight that fight all the time? Because if you're not vaccinated, where's it? What I don't know is what happens to those people who are not vaccinated. Are they not allowed to travel? Is there going to be any kind of negative ramification for them? And I'm not saying there should be. I'm just wondering what will happen.
I don't know. I think a lot of people are wondering what will happen. I think I don't know.
Or do they just become part of the herd immunity because they've probably had it at some point and now it's gone through their bodies?
Some people may argue
once in a while and they'll test you.
Some people may argue that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I really don't know. I mean, I
suppose they could have had it already and not know.
I think that with like polio, for instance.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's okay that the amount of people who have died from coronavirus have died. It's not. It sucks. It's horrible.
Yeah.
But some people aren't going to want to get the vaccine.
I don't think it has to be a giant fight.
No, I mean, I think when it comes to like measles and polio and stuff that's like paralyzing kids for life, right and left, polio specifically, like that's one that, and you know what, it solves itself because that one just had enough fear that people, now we don't have polio.
No,
anymore,
people do have to save their kids. If this COVID vaccine, if this coronavirus, this COVID virus had come, and even at the percentages it was at, and it wasn't killing 90-year-olds, but was killing 9-year-olds.
Yeah.
Do you think that many parents would have any problem sticking a vaccine in their kids' arm?
No, I don't.
No, they wouldn't have.
I don't. And that's
you
all
said,
I'm saying.
It's okay. There's only 1%.
Only
1% of the kids are dying, so it's probably not a big deal. You'll probably be okay. I guarantee you, they would have all been. Hell, I'll have to let the kids go out with a bubble wrap and within their sight and on a tether now. Except in Smith Falls.
Yep. I saw a kid on the street launching off a rickety wooden bike ramp with no helmet on.
That's a great Smith Falls tradition.
And it reminded me of my childhood.
Yeah.
It was quite nostalgic. And then like a couple days later, I saw somebody posting a meme about like kids in the 80s and like doing jumps and stuff. Launching. That's what I called it. You're launching boats these days.
Put it at the bottom.
I used to launch off ramps. Although you didn't, I don't know if I ever actually launched. I think I broke a lot of crappy ramps.
I can remember doing a few.
You'd go up and you'd think that the 3 nails you put in were a good enough job on this crappy old piece of plywood you pulled out from the back shed.
I only crashed once doing that at my sister's house when I was visiting there with my brother. We decided to build a ramp out of whatever was there, and it completely collapsed. I shot over the handlebars. I was fine. I Joe Mannix rolled my way out of it.
So, Bill, we've talked a little history. We've talked a little present. We've talked a little future.
Indeed.
Why don't we talk? I feel like I've just named everything, but where I was trying to go with that was
covering a lot of ground.
There's the segue I'm looking for. Around town.
Around town.
Yeah. What are your favorite spots? What do you like to do in this town?
Oh,
what are the hip and happening things that if somebody's coming to this town and they don't live here, maybe they're a visitor, maybe they just moved here. What's the quick Billy Dale's tour of town?
First of all, I can't believe I actually have to give this some thought.
The must goes, the must sees.
I actually have to give this some thought, which would not have been required 7 years ago, 5 years ago even. Mm-hmm. It would have been like go to Matty O'Shea's for dinner. That's not quite fair. There's good business around beside that.
You want a good burger? But it was go to Matty O'Shea's for a good burger.
Yeah,
they put peanut butter on it. They put peanut butter on it.
With the jalapenos.
Yeah, that's for me.
I like it too, but light on the peanut butter, just because it's messy. But yeah, Matty O'Shea's for Monday night, the wings special. Tuesday night's a pizza special. Wednesday night burgers. Thursday night's date night. The Lockmaster Tap House. That's got the best patio in town, I'd say. Rob Royce has a good patio too. Mm-hmm. It's nice and big, and it overlooks the canal, which doesn't sound that appealing to some people, but the canal is actually really nice down there. But they don't get the sun in the afternoon or in the evening, whereas the Lockmaster does, and it's right at, you basically stare at the falls.
Yeah.
Or
I've been to the
Lockmaster. The man-made falls on the Waste Weir. They're not the actual falls. It's
they're
right
falls. Across the street from us here, so I've had the chance to go there a couple times. I really enjoy. Yeah, I do enjoy going in the back way.
But musically, I think we both know where that is. Where that's happening. That's up at Bowie's. Yeah,
good tunes.
It's really nice to have an actual music venue in town as opposed to a bar where they got to kind of shift some tables and make a spot for a couple of guys. And it's not just, and there's some great people that play around here, but it's actually new music coming in. People coming from out of town. I've seen a couple of great shows there.
Yeah.
I can't remember anybody's name because, he saw those tall cans. And
new music nights on Friday nights.
Thursday nights, open mic night.
Open mic nights on Thursdays.
Wednesday nights, trivia night. You know how I love the trivia.
Bill cleans up at trivia at Bowie's. If you see Bill walk through the door that night, you better think about creating an allegiance with the table next to you.
Unless
and getting a bigger team going.
Unless it's Chris Matheson. Chris Matheson will kick. Chris Matheson will actually play piano while the trivia is happening.
Yeah.
And answer the questions while he's playing the piano. I mean, I can almost am able to start playing the drums, but I wouldn't be able to answer a trivia question at the same time, I don't think. Never mind play some Nina Simone.
I love when he's on the piano.
Yeah, me
it's
too.
Like
it's
soundtrack for the night.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I feel like I'm watching a talkie.
He I would say, and not that I know every musician in town, but he is one of the most talented people I know, Chris Matheson, and one of the nicest people I know. And yeah, he adds a whole new dimension to trivia night and to open mic night when he comes in. Yeah. He doesn't come in very often, but when he comes in, it's a lot of fun to have him on the tickling the ivories, as they say.
And so on this topic, what are you looking forward to? There's a lot of stuff that is like on the way that I've been hearing about. Now, this is all, I mean, what I'm looking forward to, I will lead this conversation by saying like what I'm looking forward to overall.
And I'm going to grab a beer while you do that.
Yeah. You grab me one too. I'm really looking forward to, well, the fact that COVID is like, is it over-ish? Is it fair to say it's starting to feel close? It's starting to feel close to over-ish.
I feel like quoting Winston Churchill.
Is that like?
It's not the end. It's not even the beginning of the end.
Could you grab me my other beer, Bill? Sorry, I thought you heard me.
It's
when
not.
I made my
it's not
first
the end.
order.
It's not even the beginning of the end, but it is the end of the beginning.
Right. Same kind of thing. Yeah. The end of the beginning. But we're opposite of that. This is the beginning of this is more like the beginning of the beginning of something. It depends what story you're telling, I guess. But in any case, people are getting vaccinated. I mean, this is Monday, and Friday, Ontario is opening.
That's
so I'm
right.
looking forward to that. I suppose that's what I'm getting at more specifically.
Here's why I think it's not quite the beginning of the end. Because historically, pandemics have run about 3 to 4 years.
Can you rely on history, though? They didn't, which one are you comparing it to? Like the 1918s or 1920s, like Spanish flu?
Usually sometime in the first 20 years.
Because they never got a vaccine. They never did a vaccine for that.
No, they didn't.
I hope this thing works.
But my concern, this is only my concern, and I could be wrong. I'm not trying to say, hammer home, I'm right. But, conjecture. My concern is that like those, because it lasted that long. And then one of the reasons that those things lasted is because it would mutate, right? They didn't have vaccines. They didn't get to, hopefully we can get to herd immunity quicker. Mm-hmm. And maybe it will not match that same historical sort of what seems to be the time period. But if it does mutate, if there are places where herd immunity is not reached and vaccines don't, aren't there in time to cover whatever the next mutation might be. And I think that's kind of been the point the whole time of mitigating risk. It's all we've been doing, right? It's all we've really been doing the past year and a half is mitigating our risk of getting it, mitigating our risk of transmitting it somewhere else. It's not a panacea. None of these washing your hands isn't a cure-all. Keeping a mask in isn't the only thing that's going to happen. You're just mitigating risk. It's going to run through. We're going to reach herd immunity, whether it's via vaccine or it just ripping through everybody. But with the ripping through everybody, it mutates, right? Mm-hmm. That's what has happened to other pandemics. So can we get to herd immunity before it mutates into something that the current vaccines, let's face it, I'm not going to say it's going to be ineffective, but will maybe be less effective. Yeah.
We'll see. Only time will tell. I've heard good news regarding its rate of mutation, but we'll see. I have high hopes.
Yeah, that's all I can have
right now.
I'm not pessimistic. That's only my concern.
But I'm looking forward to.
We're looking forward to good summer though. And if you want a good summer, you come on down to Lower Reach Park and see Smith Falls pedal and paddle.
Yeah, pedal and paddle. I am looking forward to coming out and actually getting out and taking one of your boats out, which I'm going to do this week.
I have a really good idea for an evening thing with the movie Under the Stars.
Nice.
Paddle and swell, have them come through the lock, then they can park over at the Pickled Pig and have a drink and go to a movie Under the Stars.
Nice.
Just got to figure it. Because I think, they'd be back. I think the locks close at 8 or 9 in the summer.
Right.
Just about dark they close.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I might do something else on the boat too this year. Yeah. We'll see how that unfolds. I'm looking forward to Amy opening up shop.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Again at the new bakery. I mean, I think she's still open at the current location, but I got a chance to peek inside.
Yeah, I only went as far as nightlife. When you were one of the things to do, I immediately went dinner, drinks, and then music.
Yeah, well, I didn't
even get to the part of what I'm going to do the next morning, and that's
I asked Bill Dales the question, so I get the Bill Dales answer, right?
That's right.
There we go. That's what I wanted. That's what I set out for.
But I am looking forward to that too, because she'll be in that new the revamped Rito Hotel.
Yeah,
and I think that's just going to be. It'll just be a nice centerpiece for the town.
What else is coming, though? I feel like there's some other thing. I heard there's an Indian restaurant on the way, Bill.
There is. It's at the old KFC on Main Street, right in my hood.
Yes.
It's like I can walk there. Well, I can walk anywhere in town, actually. But
you know, it'd be awesome.
It's the same people that are in Carlton Place, and I have for a couple of years have heard rave reviews about them and how good it is.
It'd be awesome if they found like a copy of Colonel Sanders' recipe and then like added some curry to that, tweaked it, got some like Kentucky Mumbai fusion going on or something. I'd go for some of that. I'd go for some of that. Or just fucking turn something into a poutine. That's what we do here.
Are you a poutine fan?
I am a poutine fan. I'm not always really up for the whole like it's this kind of poutine. It's like no, poutine's poutine. Up like poutine, just give me. Although then
I'm like that about a lot of things.
I've had some other poutines that were like curry with this and that like just knocked my socks off, man. Like it's so yes, I love poutine.
I'm not a fan of French fries. I'm not a hater. I'm just like I'm not a big French fry guy. Especially if they get soggy. Now, I do like poutine.
Yeah.
It is pretty damn tasty. But it's a waste for me to order because I'll have 6 bites and that's enough.
Now, how do you feel about potatoes in general?
I'm a fan of potato. Love mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you more of a lumpy hand mashed potato guy, or more of like a whipped potato
I'll
guy?
do both.
Yeah.
I love both.
I like the whipped potatoes. Lots of butter.
Yeah.
Garlic. Lots of garlic.
Pepper. Mm-hmm. A fine blanket of pepper.
Scalloped potatoes. Really love a very well.
I like au gratin.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Cheesy.
Got cheese on it.
Throw some
Potatoes
bacon
and
there.
cheese.
Maybe.
Didn't we just discuss that with the poutine thing?
Yeah, potatoes and cheese.
Saucy
It's hard to go
potatoes
wrong with
and
potatoes
cheese.
and cheese.
That's true.
Is there a poutine place coming to town? Is that what you're foreshadowing?
No, and oddly enough,
There's a burrito place coming. We're getting
there is. I talked to
getting
those guys.
The Fat Bastard.
The Fat Bastard. I talked to those guys. I was
They
speaking
make a
to
mean
Window. They come
burrito.
in,
They make a mean
chatted me
burrito.
up.
I was eating.
But it's funny because you were talking about the poutine, but have you ever heard of Smokes Poutine?
Yep.
Well,
Smokes Poutineery.
Smokes Poutineery. The guy, the face on it.
Yeah.
He's from Smith Falls.
Is he?
He used to be the tailor here.
Interesting.
Smokins Tailors, where we go get our suits, our good Sunday suits when we were kids. It was down beside Giant Tiger, down in the basement.
See, I've seen a Smokins, I think, in Kempville, maybe.
Might be another one.
But
well, he did move to Kempville. Smokins moved to Kempville from Smith
but what
Falls
does this suit
They
guy
were-
have to do with poutine?
Because his son. It's his son that runs that.
Right.
And he named it Smokes.
Gotcha.
His last name is Smokin.
Well, he should have one here.
Smolkins.
Yeah, we need a poutine place. Come on, hometown.
Yeah,
hometown smoke.
I don't know. I don't know why they're not here.
We could have another nickname for this town. The Little Smoke, Little Chicago, Little Smoke.
Well, Chicago, Sin City, Drug City. We were known as Drug City for a while.
That's a horrible nickname.
No, we actually had a pharmacy that was on the main drag where the dollar store is, and it had a giant sign on it, like the letters were 4 feet high, and it said, Drug City. Billy, run down to Drug City and get me a bottle of aspirin. And while they're there popping a Durance, get me a couple of grams of hash.
I tried. We got some other new restaurants that came though. You were telling me,
Yeah,
about
Rocky River
Rocky
Cafe
River
is great.
Cafe's here.
The Vault's good. They're all good. Boomtown.
Boomtown's great.
Yeah,
I swear by their butter chicken pizza.
butter chicken. I've heard that. A lot of people say it's got pineapple.
They put pineapple on it. That's always the next talking point because you think butter chicken, you don't think pineapple. So
I'm one of the few people in the world that's indifferent
towards pineapple
on pizza. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a side.
No,
But you're okay with it. So you do have a
It was
side.
the only other one there, and I wouldn't have ordered it. But I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll eat it.
But the people who are not okay with
pizza.
it are not okay with it.
No,
That was invented in Chatham. By the way.
In Chatham.
In Chatham. Yeah. There's a Greek guy. I can't remember his name. It was definitely like full on Hawaiian. The Hawaiian pizza is actually a Greek Canadian.
Well, like any a good small town pizzeria in Eastern Ontario, it's run by a Greek family, much like Gerbo's in Smith Falls was for years. And they are closing. See, we are in a very transition spot because Gerbo's is closing. Gerbo's has been a restaurant here for, well, since I've lived here. It's well over 50 years.
Are they closed already?
No, I think they're closing, but they're
yeah.
still running the
Because
restaurant.
I have heard you talk up their pizza many a time.
I have.
So
I think that's
definitely-
partially because of a family of 8 kids. When you got takeout food, which was pretty rare, it was usually Gerbo's pizza, and my mom and dad loved the.
I'm gonna have to try their
So
pizza.
when I smell
gonna have
that
to try
pizza,
it.
when I taste that pizza, it's like having a taste of my childhood.
So
like
what is the defining factor of their pizza? Would you say is it more about their bread, more about their sauce, or both?
I can say it's both, but it's a little bit more about the sauce.
About the sauce, really. Usually it's about the bread.
A little bit more.
Usually the bread is the difference maker.
I like their crust, but that's not the biggest part.
The sauce, eh?
I think it's the sauce and just the way they're special. I don't know, because I've ordered this. I could order the same pizza from somewhere with the exact same ingredients. I'm pretty sure it's the same cheese. Mm-hmm. It's not the same.
Yeah.
It might be the pepperoni they use, maybe too.
And I could see that. I could see that with Greek cuisine.
Yeah,
They
They
honestly,
make a mean souvlaki too.
I don't love Greek breads. Not the biggest fan of Greek
The
baking.
the pita breads.
I don't like Greek pita.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
don't-
getting
I'm
at.
not a
That's
big
what I'm
fan
getting
of
at.
Greek pita.
Not a big
I
fan
like
of the
pita
Greek
bread.
pita. I miss the pocket. There's no pocket. It's too fluffy. It's just too fluffy. Greek salad. Oh, give me a Greek salad any day of the week. Feta cheese.
Oh, souvlaki. I love souvlaki.
Souvlaki.
Souvlaki and with tzatziki. And maybe some
love
garlic
me
potatoes.
tzatziki. Love me some tzatziki on pretzels. I know they aren't Greek, but they're so good with tzatziki.
Yeah, that's right. Anything's good with it.
Pretzels and tzatziki. How do you say that?
I try and say it tzatziki.
Yeah, that was good. I think that was good.
Almost
Tzatziki.
like there's a T. Just
Tsats.
the T's
Tsats.
implied.
Tsats. Tzatziki.
Tzatziki.
Nice tats. Tzatziki. Well, Bill, we've been talking for 82 minutes.
82 minutes, really?
82 minutes.
Didn't seem that long. I figured if it was that long, I would have already lit up this joint.
Well, we don't have a format here yet, so
That's good.
82 minutes.
find one,
It's,
though.
yeah, I mean, I think
It'll be based on who you bring in to talk to. That's, it's still for the love of Smith Falls, but you'll be, it's not going to be just a by rote history lesson or just, it's going to.
Well, I knew I wasn't
natural conversation.
Yeah, I that's why I was happy to have you out as my maiden voyage,
An honor to be.
because I knew that you and I would not have any issue finding things to talk about. And I knew that from experience, because we've had some pretty
we've had some great chats.
some pretty good conversations, and we've had some good debates too.
Yeah, well, you're fun to talk to because you'll take things to a place I never thought something was going to go. And you've got a great sense of humor, but it's hard to read sometimes because it's so dry.
Yeah, I'm pretty dry.
Yeah.
I'm pretty dry.
But I've learned that now. I've learned that now.
I mean, I like the fact that I can yell at you, and you don't cry about it.
No, most people can yell at me, and I
know?
don't cry about it unless it's my family,
know?
unless it's my brothers and sisters.
You can take it.
Then I get a little pissy about it.
You got a thick skin. You got a thick skin, and we can disagree and yell, and we can.
Oh yeah.
We
Well, it's just a
can
discussion.
raise our
I used
voices
to
and then
discuss-
still clink our beers.
I used to
5 minutes
discuss
later.
things with people at college in
Yeah.
public relations, and I much like certainly my mother more than my father, who loved a good discussion, and her family
Yeah.
was with they used to say you'd sit up all night and solve the world's problems, and they love a good discussion. They get right into it. No, you're wrong, and then when it was done, people would go, "Oh, hey, Bill," and I was like, "What? Well, no, we're still friends. That's there. That's just I'm passionate, but it's nothing personal.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you, and I'm arguing the point.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not arguing you.
I only argue with my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't bother arguing with strangers. There's no sense.
Why would I?
What
You
Thomas
know?
Jefferson said.
Why am I going to waste?
I never convinced a man of anything by arguing with him.
What's the other one I like that? It's really old. It's to argue with a fool is simply two fools arguing.
Yeah.
But I'll be a fool with you, Bill. I don't mind being a fool with you. I'm a fool sometimes.
Anytime.
We're all.
Well,
a fool.
I don't care.
I think that's what's important to
I don't care.
recognize that
I
we're
don't
all
care,
fools.
and I don't worry about too much about people being offended, because I'm not. I have a saying sometimes when I say something to someone, and they'll maybe seem a little offended or maybe hurt by it, and I will say, "Well, it's not a judgment; it's an observation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference."
Yeah.
I like to think I'm fairly self-aware. I'm fairly self-deprecating sometimes. Like,
Yeah, that's
like when I said to you, well, I built this. Well, no, your back room's beautiful. You do this. Well, yeah, I paid someone to do it. I did that.
yeah.
And, I handed him stuff.
In self-deprecation, I think is important. I think it's important to, I think it's important for anybody to be taken down a peg from time to time. And if you can just take yourself down a peg, then it saves anybody else the trouble.
That's right. What's your opinion on what's the word I'm looking for? People who would put sarcasm as a trait or a skill. Fluent, people will say I'm fluent in sarcasm.
Right. Touting the fact that they like sarcasm. I don't know. I guess I've never really thought too much about it. I mean, I would consider myself a fairly sarcastic person. Although, as you've already mentioned, I can be quite dry, so often my sarcasm gets missed.
Yeah.
That sometimes gets me in trouble. I might, I should maybe be one of those people who advertises ahead of time that
You're sarcastic?
That I'm sarcastic so that then people are made aware. Maybe I'm just like bad at sarcasm. Maybe that's all
I think it's because your sarcasm is a little more subtle than most. It's funny because when you said that, I didn't really think of you at the time as a sarcastic person. Because when I think of sarcasm, I think of people that are a little over the top sarcasm.
Yeah.
Really obvious sort of. And I don't like that. I think it's cheap.
Yeah.
It's like a pun.
Right.
Pun's not that witty.
Yeah.
It's cute. I know they're pretty popular right now with
so
the dad
perhaps
jokes
I'm a little more facetious. Habitually facetious.
I think maybe that's a better description. Plus I really facetious. Maybe it's just the word. Facetious I like.
Sounds a little
sarcasm
more
I don't.
Huh.
It might be because Jason Isbell used facetious as a lyric in a song, and I thought any songwriter that can do that, I'm going to listen to more of their music.
You're a big music fan, aren't you, Bill?
Yeah, I am. I'm a weird music fan, though, because I'm not a kind of music fan the way, I'm not a really hardcore music fan. Like somebody could say, I'll tell you, I love that song. Yeah, that's a good album. What's that album called? I have no idea. What's the name of the song? I don't know. It goes like this. I'm not an aficionado. I'm a music fan, but I'm not an aficionado.
I don't know, Bill. I've seen you talk music. I've heard you talk music.
That's true.
You know a thing or two.
I do. I just not good at remembering song names.
Song names.
I know what I like.
That's your kryptonite, the name of the song.
I have discovered through musical influences, a couple of friends of mine who were in university while I was in college and really forced stuff down my throat that I thought I hated, but I end up to this day loving.
Yeah.
I think that's where I learned to love sort of complicated music or eclectic music. As a cousin of mine once said when we were camping, I had music on. And he said, Billy, did you put this on? And I said, yeah. And he goes, leave it to you to have the best music nobody's ever fucking heard of. Which was only his opinion. There's lots of people that knew who that music was. Just It wasn't pop music. It wasn't in the mainstream. Like the Goo Goo Dolls. Remember the Goo Goo Dolls?
I remember the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, they only had about 15 albums out before that.
Oh, yeah. They've been around forever.
Yeah,
I think they're still around now.
Yeah, that's because that's what I knew them from. That's my university buddies, Goo Goo Dolls. I mean, I really liked the Goo Goo Dolls. Mm-hmm. And they were one of the few bands that had a commercial hit that even the hardcore sort of snobby guys went, let them make their money. They've been around for a long time. They deserve to make some cash.
Yeah. They were a good band.
They were a good band.
The 90s had tons of good bands.
Yeah, the 90s was great. Have you ever heard of the band Cracker?
I don't think so.
Camper Van Beethoven, they became Cracker, or vice versa. Oh, you should listen to them. It's
Not
really
ringing
good.
a bell.
But 92, Cracker, the album Cracker, I think it's just called that, and then the one Kerosene Hat. Both really great albums. Fantastic guitar, great, and great lyrics. Euro Trash Girl is, if you've ever traveled through Europe, you'll listen to that song.
I actually haven't. I was meant to go through Europe a few times. Always fell through. What came out of Smiths Falls in the 90s music scene? What was the 90s music scene in Smiths Falls? Were you here in the 90s?
I was here for the early 90s.
Yeah.
There was...
What is the most notable music act to come out of Smiths Falls?
Well, one of those guys.
Or the least notable that should have been the Last Supper.
Were they called the Last Supper? I think they were called the Last Supper. Yeah, some local guys. Then they did a bunch of. I think they were trying to go for the world record of touring the most places or something. They toured all over the place, Egypt, everything. At least that's the story. Dewey Martin.
Dewey Martin.
He was the drummer for Buffalo Springfield.
Okay.
He was. I think he's. I'm not sure if Dewey was even born in Smiths Falls. I think he spent some time here in high school or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I'm missing somebody. Oh, I know I'm missing somebody.
Who's the Brooke Henderson of the music scene?
Well, there'd be two, really.
Like historically.
One.
I don't mean now.
No, this would be now because I don't think there was anybody really from Smiths Falls that was
now. It would
like a big traveling band that might. I wouldn't say he's the biggest thing, but he's probably perhaps has the best shot of becoming notable. He does tour quite a bit right now. And that's Basic White is the name of the band. That's my nephew.
Right.
My nephew
Yeah. I've checked out their stuff. I like it.
Yeah. And my nephew Brad Alford actually was in a band for a while called St. Joe's Mission, named after a house I lived in. It was not a mission at the time.
Basic White, they come back here and they pack the house,
here a
right?
couple times, yeah.
They packed the house.
Came back for
sold out show
at Hanley Hall, and they used to come back for Canada Day sometime around there. Christmas, they always come back for Christmas and do a show then.
What's your nephew's name? Riley
White.
Riley White. Basic White.
He's the lead singer.
So he's the namesake of the band then?
Yeah.
He's the writer.
Yep. And Wally and Jesus.
But he's like down in London or something.
He's down in London, yeah. He does. His dad is local radio legend Smokin' Dave White, formerly of C-Jet Radio.
C-Jet.
Located here in Smiths Falls back in the day.
Right.
I worked for C-Jet for a little while.
That's awesome.
Sunday morning, putting on the CBC reel-to-reel tapes, and then I'd have about 6, 7, maybe 8 minutes to play the gap.
Because you're coming full circle, because we're bringing broadcasting back to Smiths Falls. We just lost it. We just lost our
literally just lost it.
So
that was the original C-Jet.
That has a lot to do with us
C-Jet. It
being
wasn't called that anymore.
That has a lot to do with us being here right now.
And
tonight,
I've heard that the radio station in Perth has been sold.
Not surprised.
So I'm not sure what that means because the owner passed, unfortunately. And that was great for him to bring that station back.
Well, here we are.
Here we are.
Smiths Falls. For the love of Smiths Falls. We're going to wrap it up because we've been talking for 94 minutes now. And as much
Did you end up with a name?
No, we don't have a name yet. Well, I kind of have one in mind.
The working title is For Love of Smiths Falls until you come up.
You know what? I think if nothing else, that will definitely serve as an excellent title for the episode.
Yeah. It's a good moniker.
Yeah.
It's a good tagline for whatever.
I think...
do they still do those taglines?
Well, I was telling you about that website. Yeah, we still do slogans, taglines. Definitely still a thing. Turn them into hashtags these days. Ride of the Falls, right? Hashtag Ride of the Falls.
For anybody who can't see me.
Hashtag Rise of the Falls.
I'm making the hashtag symbol. Is that what the kids do now?
Yeah, well, I think they do it. I don't know.
Well, they ride at the falls. I've seen them out on their bikes. There's more bikes on the streets now than there has been since I was a kid.
Love the bikes. Love the boards. Love the paddles and the pedals.
Love the water. Love thy neighbor.
Yeah, I think I was thinking about just calling it On Smiths Falls.
It's very simple.
Like we're on. Like we flip the switch. We're recording. We're on.
I like that. I like simpler. I like succinct. Which probably sounds kind of surprising coming from a blatherskite like myself.
Right.
But that's, that's our friend Barley.
Well, thank you for tuning in, folks. If you did tune in, then thank you. But if you're hearing this, then you did. So thank you. My name is Matt, and we're still not entirely sure what this show is called. But if you listened to it and were listening, we thank you. You're probably in Smiths Falls or have something to do with Smiths Falls because that's the whole idea. And we've had Mr. Bill Dales here. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Smiths Falls, for the love of Smiths Falls on. Thanks, Bill. Say bye. Matt. Say bye to everybody.
Thanks, Matt. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to the Smiths Falls On podcast. I'd like to thank our sponsors one last time. We've got Mighty Valley Coffee, and we've got Water and Rail hoodies available exclusively at the Arts Hub. Use coupon code Smiths Falls Podcast and save. And be sure to tune in for our next episode. Our next episode is airing Canada Day the 1st. See you then. Bye.